Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. So of course, as you can tell from the title of the video, I'm testing out some new makeup products today. Pretty much new indie products. Nomad Cosmetics just had their 10-year anniversary and they brought back 3 eyeshadow palettes that they had launched in the past. And also What's Up Beauty launched a liquid blush, matte liquid blush, and a brush to go along with it. Went ahead and purchased those 2 items, and that's it. That's all the new products I will be using today. I'll probably give you a couple of updates on some newer items as well, but let's go ahead and get started because I actually have a lot to do today. Alright my loves, as you could see, I have some makeup on. I went into the Makeup by Mario foundation and mixed some of the MAC Studio Radiance foundation tint. I always link exact shades down below. Milk Makeup Concealer, Issa Maya Contour Stick in shade Oak. I'm still loving this. Haus Labs Glassy Cinnamon, one of the new bronzer shades they came out with. Also really enjoying this still. I used it as my bronzer. Just keep in mind that the base is a little bit sheer. Don't expect like rare beauty kind of pigment. So you might have to build this up if you have a tone that's a little bit too light for you. And that's it. I don't have any powder because we're gonna jump in to this What's Up Beauty product. It's the Rosehippity Matte Liquid Blush. I did see this teased for the Ipsy bag. Is it Ipsy Glam bag? Anyways, I canceled my Ipsy membership a long time ago, many years ago. But What's Up Beauty does do a lot of, I guess, collaborations. They like feature products in the Ipsy bags. This is where I saw this, but other than that, I didn't really see any advertising, any teasing or anything from the brand. I just received the email saying, hey, our new blushes are available and the brush that we created for them on our website. Go shop. 3 different tones available: Oceana, Heirloom, and Leonidas. I only purchased one, Heirloom, and it looks like a mauve tone. On their own, they retail for $25. And this reminds me, the packaging, of the primer, the hydrating primer that they came out with, which I do really enjoy. Okay, is there a shelf life on this? 12-month shelf life, and it was made in China. And here is what the component looks like. So like the Charlotte Tilbury wand. Let me see what it says on here on the website. A muted mauve blush with a matte finish. This lightweight liquid formula blends seamlessly and builds effortlessly for a soft, natural look. Okay, it has gold cap. Oh, and it is protected here before you start using it. I'm not a huge fan of the little sponge, but I purchased the Charlotte Tilbury, so same exact component. You twist it to open it up and then you squeeze it so the pigment can come out. There it is. Let me swatch it. Okay, yeah, that looks like a beautiful mauve tone. Okay, before I apply it, I did also purchase the brush that they created for this particular product. I do have, I think, 2 or 3 other face brushes from the brand. I really enjoy the one that they released with their powder, but I use that for blush, and the one that they released for the powder blush, I use that brush for my bronzer. And then I have a couple of eye brushes from them as well. I feel that their brushes are totally underrated. Yes, they're made in, I think, Japan. Let me see. They're made in Japan, so they are a little bit on the pricier side, but it's the normal pricing that, say, Refer, when they don't have their sales, has. It aligns with other prices of brushes that are like this. Okay, so this is the R205 blush brush, and it retails for $54. There's the component, and I do really love how their brushes are packaged. It comes in a little foam component, and here it is. And the pink handle, I love the pink little handle. All of their brushes feel very nice luxe, like you could tell that the quality is good on them. Let me go ahead and spot clean this real quick before I start applying my blush. All right, let me bring you in a tiny bit closer. And then here's the swatch. And it's straight down. Yeah, it's straight down. It's not moving. Okay, that's nice. All right, so I do have some product left on the little sponge applicator. I wonder if this formula, I'm going to use the 205 that was launched with this collection. Okay, not super opaque, buildable formula, which I personally prefer, but to each their own. They did not send this to me in PR. I know I have received PR from What's Up Beauty before. I'm just letting you know that this was not sent to me in PR. Okay, that's pretty. It's blending super easy. No lifting up of my foundation underneath, so that's nice. That's a beautiful tone. And it's definitely a matte finish. Like I said, the swatch did dry down. Let me do this cheek. So far, so good. And this brush is working beautifully with the product. I wonder if all their brushes are like powder and cream appropriate. Okay, beautiful, soft. If you're somebody who enjoys a matte finish, I think you'll enjoy this. I'll do a swatch comparison with the Charlotte because definitely when I saw this, it reminded me of Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, so these two products, first try, I'm enjoying. Okay, I'm back and I did set my face. I went into the One Size Pink powder for my under eyes and the T-zone and the Makeup Forever loose powder and banana for the rest of my face. And as you could see, the blush is still peeking through. That swatch is still on here pretty good. I sprayed my setting spray for my under eyes right on top of it on accident, but I had to scrub really hard to even get what I did get off, but it's still on here pretty good. And I also think that this will probably be a good formula to use on top of powder since it does set down pretty well. All right, now for Nomad Cosmetics. They recently had their 10-year anniversary. I didn't even know they have been around for that long. I just started dipping into the brand this year. They have been on my radar for the past 2 years. But this year when they released the Fairy Tale Europe palette was my very first time purchasing from the brand. So far, that palette performs absolutely beautiful. They did send a little postcard with some information. So Nomad is turning 10 and we celebrate by bringing back 3 classic fan favorite palettes upgraded with our latest formulas. So this is a limited launch, special launch price, same as it was when they originally were launched, and an extra 20% off on the bundle packs with code COMEBACK20. The America's Parks Intense Eyeshadow Palette. That one is a bit colorful and I decided I didn't want or need it. The Fit de Provence Intense Color Palette. That one was a tiny bit more of like a spring. So it has purple, pink, a little bit of orangey peach and yellow. It looks beautiful, but I decided I don't need it either. Probably because I purchased recently the Fairy Tale Europe, which does have some purple in there and I think yellow as well. The Berlin Underground Intense Eyeshadow Palette is the one that called my name. $39 is what I paid for this palette. It has a 12-month shelf life, designed on location in Berlin, Germany, manufactured at Nomad Labs in China. Okay, so let me open this bad boy up and show you. It looks like the unicorn matches the palette. So I'll toss that. Here she is. It's like grungy neutrals except for this green here. But yeah, so pretty. It is a tiny bit shimmer heavy. There's only 5 mattes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the rest are shimmers. But I'm oh so excited. Okay, so I think what I'll do is create 2 eye looks. So I'll do one and probably do a second one tomorrow. Yeah, just so there's 2 eye looks in this video since there's not too many new products that I'm testing out. I think I'll do this tone here, Caio Stage. This is a fluffy little Nomad Cosmetics crease brush. Let's see if you can see this tone on my... Okay, barely, but I think you can. And this eye look is going to be on both eyes, and I do have the Rare Beauty eye primer. Okay, now I'm gonna jump into that pretty, almost terracotta orange. Oh, Oranian Strabe. This is a Victoria Beckham number 21. I do not speak German, so apologies if I mispronounce that. These pans are pretty big. Beautiful, beautiful. Burnt, grungy orange. So pretty. Okay, NYX glitter glue is on, and you can leave it like this. I'm perfectly fine with what I see, but I know sometimes dipping it up the outer corner, you kind of feel like it's needed. You can use the black and do that, but I'm gonna leave it like this. And I think I'm gonna jump into this tone here, SO36. It's gonna go right in the center. Oh, it's so pretty. It's like a brassy, almost olive green kind of tone. I don't dip my finger too much into the shimmers. I like to build up. Oh, but that's a beautiful shade. And then I think I'm gonna jump into, gosh, you know what, let me swatch this one. Okay, yeah, Kreuzberg right here, Kreuzberg. Okay, this one is like a shifty green, so maybe I shouldn't have gone for that one, but it's fine. Should I change it? I'm just not happy with that. Okay, I'm gonna, let's do this one. Douche Punk. It's like a goldy tone. I just didn't want this to go green, you know? That green is still gonna pop up just a tiny bit, but it's fine. Fine. Okay, I pulled out my Fairy Tale Europe, and I'm gonna jump in to this lightest tone, but I'm gonna mix it with the yellow here. Helden. Also did a cute little embossment of the skulls and the helmet. Let me flip it over so you can see. So cute. I hope you can see the embossment. Okay, I'm gonna use this B4, and I think I'll dip into the yellow first. And then that brightest tone from the Fairy Tale. And I just kind of dip back and forth until I get the desired tone. Okay, yeah, perfect. All right, let me go ahead and finish off camera. And yeah, okay. All right, my loves, I am back. Face is completed. Let me tell you what I went in for makeup. Makeup Forever bronzer mixed with Hourglass Diffuse Bronze Light. Powder blush, I went into my Westman Petal and by Terry Pink Passion. Just mix the two. Dior highlighter, Pink Halo. Mascara is What's Up Beauty. Eyebrows is Gucci Brow Pencil Benefit Brow Gel. And then for the lips, I have Cool Spice from MAC and an unearthly lip gloss in Avery. And I think that's everything. But here is the first eye look. Very pretty. I feel like it's soft, but still a tiny bit grungy. All right, let me send you on off to eye look number 2. It'll be a different day for me, but right now for you, and then more than likely swatch comparison and outro, I'll have this look on. All right, my loves, second eye look. Let me bring you in closer. There. And I think I'm gonna do green and black and then see what shimmers I pick. I think that's what we're doing today. So the green one is NDW. This is the Sigma and Brianna Fox one. And I'm going no halo eye today. I like to switch it up as far as eyeshadow, like shapes and techniques and whatnot. I know I personally get bored creating the same exact type of looks where like crease, dipping out the corner, inner corner, shimmer. Like placing things a little bit different can definitely change the eye shape and just change things up a tiny bit. I'm not gonna use too much of this green. Okay, that's what we're looking like. Now I'm gonna jump in to the black, which Club Nacht, I think it's how it's pronounced, Klubnacht. I'm gonna use this one here, E42 from Sigma. I have a little more control with this one, and since we're working with black, I wanna make sure that I have more control. The Victoria Beckham one, it's the size I'm looking for, but just the bristles are a little too fluffy. And this one has a little bit more firmness to it. And I'm tapping first before I do any swiping or blending. Okay, now comes the hard part in choosing a shimmer. I was looking at this one, which looks like maybe has a tiny bit of a purple undertone. So yeah, let's go with that one. Love Parade. It looks very pretty. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. And I did put NYX glitter glue on. Has a lot of pretty little sparkles. Okay, and I think now I'm gonna jump into this one, The Wall. It looks like a taupey shade, but maybe it's more yellow. I don't feel like it looks in the eye like it does on the pan. I see more taupiness, but it looks like a light yellow shimmer. Okay, I mean, it looks pretty. Okay, I don't like any of the mattes in the Berlin palette for my inner corner for this eye look, so I'm gonna jump in to my Fairy Tale Europe and use the lightest. Since it's still Nomad, I figured it's fine. This is the Before from Blum Bunny, and it's gonna go in the inner corner and down this way a tiny bit because I did not put the green all the way in. I enjoy green eye looks, but when it's a green like this, like a true green, I don't like bringing it in too much to my inner corner. I feel like it closes off my eye a tiny bit. So pulling that very light nude shade all the way to where I have no shadow and in the inner corner. Okay, let me finish off, come back, show you the completed face, and we'll be done with this eye look. Okay, here is the second eye look with the Berlin Underground palette. I did cheat a tiny bit and used the Nomad Fairy Tale Europe palette just for the inner corner though. I used, as far as face makeup goes, everything exactly the same. I only changed the blush and the lip. I used the new Dior. This is in 077 Candy. It's one of the new shades they launched with this blush launch. And then for the lips, MAC Cosmetics Cool Spice and a tiny bit of grayish lip liner with the Wicked Widow Beauty Graveyard Dirt lipstick. But everything else is the same. And here it is. Here is the second very beautiful eye look with his Nomad Underground palette. Absolutely love it. Gosh, I can't. I think this one's my favorite. Even though it's green, I think it's my favorite. I don't know. It's a change. I don't wear green as often as I would like, especially this like true green. I gravitate more towards olives. Okay, that's going to be it for the second eye look. Let me send you on off to Outro Mary. All right, my love. So I pulled out my Charlotte Tilbury Matte Beauty Blush Wand. And then here is the What's Up Beauty. Let me just go over the swatch that I already have. So it's the same exact component. You twist it to lock and then you twist it to unlock so that you can squeeze out product. Okay, so there's the What's Up Beauty. And then for the Charlotte Pillow Talk is the shade that I have, and it's the same. You twist it to open and you twist it to close it. I have enjoyed the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. When I first tried this, gosh, nothing's coming out. I wasn't the hugest fan of this formula. Why is nothing coming out? I found myself gravitating towards this and I started using it more. So once I did, then I was like, okay, this is actually a beautiful formula. Is this already drying out? It's like maybe it's so dirty that it doesn't want to come through. I don't know, like I see. Oh, you see that? Oh my goodness. I need to clean this. All right, so I just wasted all of this. It wasn't coming out from the top. I think let me clean this, hold on. So I cleaned the sponge for the Charlotte. So the dirty part at the top, I guess, created like a seal or something. And that's why I started spewing from the side instead of coming straight up. But I cleaned it off a tiny bit with my Sephora spray, and now it's finally coming out from the top instead of from the sides. So if you own this, check on it, especially if you don't use it often like myself. Okay, so this is the What's Up Beauty, what shade? Heirloom, and then Pillow Talk. And the What's Up Beauty is the one that's already dried down, and the Pillow Talk is not. Yeah, so I think the What's Up Beauty definitely dries down because the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk one still feels like there's moisture in it. So the What's Up Beauty 100%, yeah, it feels like powder right now. Not tacky, but like it's a dried down liquid cream consistency. Whereas the What's Up Beauty, like it feels like powder right now. All right, I did pull out the other two face brushes that I do really love from What's Up Beauty. The R202, which was launched along with their Chiquiter bronzers and blushes. This one, I believe, was launched for their blush, but I prefer using this for bronzer. It's just, I don't know, the shape and a tiny bit of the density. For me, it works better for bronzer than it does for blush. This one, the R204, was launched with their pressed powders, but I feel like there's too much space in the bristles up top, just the way that they are cut, that I actually prefer this for a very soft blush application. So I've been using this one for blush and loving it. These are definitely two current favorite brushes that I use very often. And this new one, the R205, I'm excited to keep using. And so far it worked really, really nice with the liquid blush. And I'm excited to use it with maybe cream blushes as well. So yeah, so we'll see if this also becomes an absolute favorite for cream and liquid blushes. I feel What's Up Beauty brushes are so underrated. So if you can check them out, I promise you, you will not regret it. Great job, What's Up Beauty. And the blush, so far first impressions I'm enjoying, so I'm excited to keep using it and see if it'll become a favorite. The tone is perfect. I enjoyed the tone and I think it looks absolutely beautiful with this eye look. Okay, Nomad Cosmetics, this palette, this Berlin Underground palette. I don't know what the second eye look looks like yet, but this is definitely a grungy neutral palette. Like if you take away this green here, it looks like a pretty neutral palette and I love it. I mean, I feel like these shimmers maybe have a tiny bit of blue in them, but I feel like it's a grungy neutral palette. And when I picture using this palette, I picture dinner events, maybe a wedding. My battery's low. All right, yeah, so this Nomad palette, ecstatic to have it in my collection. Congrats on 10 years, Nomad Cosmetics. I know I am just barely dipping my toes into the brand, but it's absolutely amazing to hear that you've been a part of the beauty space for 10 years and still being an indie brand. That's absolutely fabulous. Cannot wait to see what the next launch is. I have a feeling I'll be enjoying this palette quite a bit, and it'll probably pair very well with the Fairy Tale Europe palette that I already own from the brand. All right, my loves, that's going to be it. Not too many new stuff in this video, but I really wanted to film with this palette and try out the new launch from What's Up Beauty along with the brush. Today, apparently, indie is the topic of discussion and I'm here for it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Do not forget to let me know which eye look is your favorite. Thank you so much for being here. I love and appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea, all the comments, all the likes. If you use my links to shop, it truly all does mean the world to me. With that being said, do not forget to give the video a big thumbs up, and also don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you all on my next video.